Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda.
And I'm Bob.
And this is Bob. How are you going, Bob?
I'm going fabby, thank you.
Good. I'm so glad they're here.
Me too.
And this week I wanted to talk a little bit about keeping it real. When we see that our friends, the company we keep, are lacking compassion and sincerity, it could be time to stray away from the norm. Social masks are not a vibe.
No vibe there.
When the rude comment at the table is everyone laughing at perhaps yours or another's expense, dare to be the straight face. When your boss reaches out after working hours,
You said both.
I did. When your boss reaches out after working hours, or if you're on holiday, ignore it if you're not contractually obligated. And when money-hungry working colleagues are openly cutting corners to make a buck, refuse and be a demonstration of integrity.
Ho, 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 that's something.
Yeah, keeping it real can ruffle feathers. Depending on who you are, people who don't perform can be hard to be around. Their authentic expression is both disruptive and dishonest. Hashtag keeping it real. This is big bull stuff.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Bob, this is where it's not being a rebel. It's not a romantic gig at all. It's all about courage and at the same time being vulnerable.
Huh?
Well, if you stand against the crowd because they don't care and it's cutting corners and it's not a cool thing that they're doing, you'll have to be ready to be rejected, criticised, shunned. All going well, you won't give a fig.
Yeah, all going well.
Yeah. But having your self-love well stocked, you won't require this external validation because you will see them for who they really are. And yeah, it's not light work, but it works towards bringing more light into your life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Should have said nothing.
Yeah, Bob, keeping it real means that there are boundaries in place and you're carrying your truth. Some chapters of life might even feel lonely because it is a game that you do not want to participate in.
Okay, get it, but ain't that the truth?
Yeah. I've talked about having a real aversion to drama, and this definitely falls into that category. But I also know that I'm not alone. Am I right, Marble Dwellers, or am I right?
I'd say that you're right.
I know you're out there and you're getting it. I know this because I've read your emails a few times, actually. Your messages on here on YouTube and my Facebook page, the Rock Chicks Facebook page. Rock Chicks for Clarity is my page about what I'm talking about in upcoming episodes for the podcast. And it's art and fun stuff, etc. I don't know why I never did the whole jar of marbles on Facebook.
Yeah, I did wonder, but
Anyway, there is a community there, small and waiting for you anytime. It is lovely and you are all welcome. From these platforms, including email, I have had the privilege of reading dwellers' stories or part thereof and have commented on some of my episodes because it spoke to them on that day.
Did you know that Spider-Man has a winter jacket made entirely of Mediterranean flatbread? It's a Peter Parker.
I've had requests for a few of the episodes I've done, and that was just a gas, to be honest. I had to then go and think about it and record them. So it's a real challenge, but I figured if I kept it real, then I'd be okay.
Well, if you don't do anything else, I know you do that.
Thank you, Bob. Which is beyond special and a little bit spectacular to me. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, have you heard of a snackcident?
No,
It's when you eat all the snack by accident.
that sucks, Bob.
No, I thought it was quite good.
Hashtag keeping it real. There are many of us out there risking social criticism in the name of honest, soulful living.
Here.
May we continue to find each other.
Yes, please. And another here.
Know that you are worthy of love, appreciation and respect. There will be people who do and will cherish you. Till then, mask off. No matter what, literally let your light shine. You're braver than you realise, or perhaps a credit to yourself. Yes, you are so brave. Look at what you've come through. You're truly amazing. Yes, and you deserve to be seen just as you are. This kind of truth will scare off anyone who's not authentic. People will forever take me by surprise on both sides of that coin.
You know, I'm sceptical of anyone that tells me that they do yoga every day because that's a little bit of a stretch. Hey, 6:30 is the best time on a clock, hands down.
I like to highlight people who are so kind and by the same token, the others that have blown me away with their cruelty. When people are not aligned with your true self, they will wither and drop off one way or the other. And that's a good thing. always.
Oh, yeah.
One dweller that wrote to me and with their permission told me he'd lost people when he decided to keep it real, as they don't like to hear no to what doesn't benefit them. Woot woot. It's so right, isn't it?
So right. Right there, right.
He went on to say many people have come and gone in his life. Most of them have only taken advantage of his kindness rather than given respect. He said that being true to himself is more important than trying to please others. That's huge. Good on you. You know who you are.
Right, yeah.
So true relationships will stay regardless of the situation. That's why quite often I've talked about choose the act of choosing. We do continue to have the same similar experiences if we don't choose differently. It's time to choose a new response.
I'm just sitting here wondering how I never noticed that there's a turd and Saturday Day. Anyone else notice strange things like this? Is it just me?
Might be, Bob. Life's lessons are like the universe's messenger, guys. No agenda, just here it is, another opportunity to choose different. Add a bit of soul juice to your own agendas for you. Hashtag keeping it real.
Well, I like that, soul juice.
Yeah, me too, Bob.
You mustn't stifle genius, I always say.
That's right, Bob. I say that there is something to be said about clearing your perception, the lenses of our perceptions, so that we can understand how we find ourselves where we do. Such a broad statement, but it can fit into many scenarios. Keeping it real ultimately will mean walking away, loving yourself enough, and just slam that door.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And feel all the normal things that will come, the sadness, the everything that will be. But this is the path out, through is out. I'm grateful that I stuck to my guns on my own journey. I'm sure you are too. And I also think we've got to celebrate our wins.
Another one? Yes.
Yes. Congratulate ourselves on the progress that no one knows about. This is honouring yourself. And I am also very dedicated to that.
Highly recommend.
Oh, crikey, yes. We all are. We are living proof that you pushed through the toughest chapters of your life. And my favourite part, the best bit, is the reinvention of you and the gorgeous stories that you're creating in your life. Setting boundaries is definitely in the keeping it real game. Setting boundaries
Are essential?
yeah, Bob, especially if you're new to the game. Absolutely. The whole notion of protecting your peace, once you value that, and you get that, you'll truly understand how it is your duty to do so. If someone consistently leaves you feeling drained, every interaction is painful, they belittle you, and let's be clear, they know they're doing it. Nice folk find that one the hardest to believe, that anyone could be that mean. And I have found in my own life that now and then I get a reminder, and it still takes me back a bit, I've got to say, but it doesn't derail my life. So your choices are this: you either cut the time down that you spend with them, or you just cut the ties entirely. Yes, protect your peace first, I say. We people just look plain weird with a set of footprints on our faces.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
No, you can keep it real by loving them from a distance without having to like them or have them in your life. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. That is so true. Bob, I woke up this morning determined to do the laundry, clean the house, and follow that up with some exercise. But that was 4 hours ago when I was young and, full of dreams.
Yeah.
There is a distinct beauty to people who, a distinct beauty to people who have embraced their struggles and came out the other end, still compassionate and possibly kinder. If you're worried about the cost of going for it, you should see the price of staying exactly where you are.
Ho, ho, ho.
The truth is, people will always have something to say, good or bad. The key is to not let them get you down, not to let their words define you. If I've learnt anything, it's that no one else's opinion should ever stop you from doing what you love or take away how amazing you already are. Of course, some people's mocking tones of voice, their comments, yes, they can sting. But when you know your worth and how hard you work and have worked, no comment or opinion can change that or take it away.
What happened when a faucet, a tomato and some lettuce ran a race together? The lettuce was ahead, the faucet was running, and the tomato was trying to catch up. And what do you call people who sleep in their socks? Tiny.
Thanks, Bob.
It's all right.
Our suitcase of life shouldn't be dragging us down. Unpack, refold, make happier choices. You know, the ones that suit you completely. Create more space for whoever matters most in this present day. To become the more interesting person in the room, take care of your body, your mind and soul. #KeepingItReal. Give yourself time to begin with, if you haven't already. Give yourself 3 months and then maybe 3 months more to get into the habit of practicing radical self-care, self-knowledge and, of course, self-love. There is so much available to you. Your subconscious mind has so much to teach you and aid you. Easy stuff like go to bed earlier, stop scrolling, get dressed up even if you're not going anywhere, read more, get healthier, move, exercise, move. Yeah, that's it.
Yep, this is your only life.
That's right, Bob. And like me, I'm sure you want to enjoy it. And like you, I want to do what I can in order to enjoy all aspects of life.
So no more waiting?
Be the person you've always wanted to be, your version of enter Neville Goddard, as per the episode called Rehearse Your Best Life. God, it's such good stuff. Stuff that works if you apply it. Fair income for sure. So yes, be the person you've always wanted to be. This will not be like the other times. This time you will change. There just comes a day when the shift kicks in. You want to stick to new habits.
You want to see results.
That's right. You know what? And I believe in you.
I believe in you too.
And I believe in you. I'm just saying that your subconscious mind is so powerful and you will manifest your goals. It is without a doubt the best day in the whole history of the universe when something clicks and you know you're ready to move ahead.
Did you know that witches stole penises and kept them as pets in the Middle Ages?
Yes, well, it is sad how many traditions we just let die out.
That wasn't funny.
Yes, it was. And a quote from Mark Manson: treat yourself well while not harming others. Treat others well while not harming yourself. I'd say be stubborn about keeping it real for you. Be stubborn about not giving up even when you want to. You're kind of like a big deal and really important to all of us. I found this the other day talking about possible messages behind some emotions. Listen to your emotions. Anger says, look into what you're afraid to lose. Guilt says, you're not aligned with your values. Fear says, you're being challenged to grow. Shame says, work on your sense of self-worth. Anxiety says, learn to quieten your mind. Regret says, there's an opportunity to change course. Jealousy says, acknowledge your true desires. Resentment says, work on your victim mentality. And sadness says, pay attention to what's lacking. Lots of food for thought there, depending on what you're looking at and perhaps working on or have worked on. Most of us worry. It can grab us and take away our happiness in a really swift move. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace.
Oh, Lord.
I know. Yesterday I was in my head and I was getting a bit carried away worrying, and I went off to my back garden and found my sense of calm. I mean, we all fret about things, and knew I had to mention this in the podcast, that worrying does nothing to change or magic away our troubles and tribulations. We're all human, this is correct. Our worries end up having power over us if we don't change our patterns. In this case, I knew to get to the garden, pull out some weeds, fertilise the vegetables, water the garden. Point was, I was getting out of my head. There are other things I do, but that is a go-to. I don't wait for my worries, say, in the assistance to take over. I change it before it does. Just makes you a strong, beautiful woman, just saying.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Good on you, Bob. The thing about obsessing is we're not
Keeping it real?
Yeah, something like that. Obsessing is like worshipping the problem instead of taking some kind of action. Anything. Sweep a floor. Go for a walk. Walk around your apartment. Overthinking does nothing but ruin our mood and is not the time to be making important decisions. That's something I've really learned. It makes everything seem far worse. That's until you get into solution mode. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And if we've all done all that we can, we need to let that shit go.
You said shit.
Yes, I did. For our peace, our sanity, for our happiness. Hashtag keeping it real. It may come across a bit whimsical.
Well, we need more of that.
More wonderment, yes. I found this, and credit to the author, but could not find the source. And it goes a little bit like this. Oh no, my wonder is not childlike. My whimsy is old. My frivolity is steeped in ancient wisdom. My silliness is battle-worn. My awe at the world has been long forged through trial and tribulation. I have earned this wonderment. I have protected it for decades against a society that tells me constantly that it should not belong to me. I was born with wonder, and I have carried it against all odds with me through adulthood. I think that's bloody wonderful. I hope you love it too. You're winning if you're telling yourself regularly that you're living your best life. It is, if nothing else, uplifting.
You know, I don't have time to Google lyrics. I just sing what I hear.
Oh, yes.
Dancing queen, young and sweet, only 7 teeth.
Good one, Bob.
Why shouldn't you argue with a T-Rex? You'll get your ass kicked.
That's not bad, Bob.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good myself.
Keeping it real is more than just a catchphrase. It's a mindset. It's a way of living, a commitment to authenticity in everything you do. In a world that constantly pushes us to wear masks, blend in, or follow trends, staying true to yourself is both a challenge and a strength. But why is it so important?
Hey!
What's going on there, Bob?
I was just wondering, why authenticity matters.
Well, when you're being authentic,
I'm keeping it real.
yeah, you're not trying to live up to someone else's expectations or playing a role, a part. Instead, you're grounded in who you are, what you believe, and what you truly value. You're keeping it real, and people can sense that. It's a clarity that brings a kind of freedom from comparison, self-doubt, and the stress of pretending.
Today, a man knocked on my door and asked for a small donation toward the local swimming pool. So I gave him a glass of water.
It also fosters genuine connections, Bob. People are naturally drawn to those who are honest and real because authenticity feels rare and refreshing in a society often driven by appearances and status.
Oh, yeah, so true. I'm a rather refreshing man.
You're something, and that's for sure.
But what about pretending?
Yeah, it's obvious when someone's not being real, though, isn't it? And the problem with keeping it real is that it's exhausting. Exhausting to be that way, and exhausting to be around someone who is just not being themselves. Putting on a facade day after day drains energy, and eventually it just chips away at you, at your sense of self. Very important. And when we prioritise fitting in over standing out, we lose sight of what makes us unique. Hashtag keeping it real.
Yeah, keeping it real over here, man.
Over time, putting on a facade, this disconnect just leads to dissatisfaction, even burnout. Anxiety. You can only play a role for so long before the act becomes unsustainable.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
How to keep it real? You just got to know yourself. If you don't, it's never too late to, really ask yourself some questions. Authenticity starts with self-awareness. Understand what you stand for, what you believe in, and what you're not willing to compromise on. It's just lovely being around a person that knows that about themselves, and they're kind with it as well. And spending a little bit of time reflecting on that and what really matters to you will help to guide your decisions. I find journaling is a great tool. You really can catch yourself out on your own bullshit.
Turns out that this isn't for me.
What isn't?
Journaling.
Oh, well, everybody's different, but it is it's a very smart way of finding out what's going on with you, especially if, say, you've written something down, say if you've written in a grand tirade of something's really bugging you. You go back a week later and you look at that, and it's amazing how much things have changed since that moment, and you realise how far you've come even in a week. So accept your flaws. We've all got them, our perfect little imperfections. Being real isn't about being perfect.
You're pretty perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm not, but thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I would like to think of myself more as like perfectly imperfect, thank you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Embrace your imperfections. Let go of the need to always have it together. Vulnerability doesn't make you weak. It makes you relatable, And I've got news.
Human?
Yeah. Communicate honestly while keeping it real. Speak your truth, but do it with respect and kindness. It's not just about saying what's on your mind. It's about doing so in a way that honours your values and considers the feelings of others. Surround yourself with real people. Who you spend time with matters. Find people who value authenticity and aren't afraid to be themselves. What a delight being around those kind of people. Their energy will inspire you to keep it real, even when it's difficult.
A cheese factory exploded in France. Debris is everywhere.
Embrace growth. Keeping it real doesn't mean staying the same. It's about being honest with yourself about where you are and having the courage to change if needed. Growth is a part of the process, and being true to yourself. True to yourself means honouring that journey.
My wife asked me, is it just me or is the cat getting fat? Apparently, no, it's just you wasn't the right answer.
Oh, Bob. Staying true in a filtered world, it's easy to get caught up in the highlights and the curated images we see on social media, isn't it? But remember, what you see isn't always real. Don't let someone else's version of success, beauty or happiness dictate how you see yourself.
What does a grape say when it's squashed? Nothing. It just lets out a little wine.
Focus on living a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. When you keep it real, you're not just being true to yourself, you're giving others permission to do the same. That ripple effect is so powerful. Hashtag keeping it real. Thanks for tuning in today.
Oh no, it's time.
Yes, Bob. Remember, keeping it real isn't about perfection or being brutally honest 24/7. It's about staying true to yourself, owning your story, and striving to be the very best version of who you truly are. Authenticity isn't just a buzzword, it's a lifestyle choice that brings more genuine connections, confidence, and clarity into your life, and it's just pretty wonderful. So say good day to the family for me, give the blue whale a wink, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then, bye.
Bye.